mom tell you I was picking you up? She didn't? Hey.
Record-breaking coasters and the biggest splash in the hurricane harbor wave pool. Take your little one on an exciting...
How was it? Good?
Disgusting. If you want to go out and sit it was always what she did. No.
Welcome to All Things Dad. Hello, I'm Theo, father advocate for Friends of Fathers, and today I'm sharing this video because many of the fathers that I consult with share a common challenge, which is how do they stay actively involved in their child's life, especially when co-parenting from a distance. One of the first parenting books I read was The 5 Love Languages for Children, and the one that I found out that's most important to children is time. You see, children value quality time. And what I find is that when most men separate from their families through divorce or unforeseen events and they're removed from the home, they lose out on all the time they have with their kids. And I believe that really that is the hardest loss for fathers. How can I navigate still being involved in my kids' lives after a divorce or separation? A large amount of the work I do with fathers is helping them adjust to the transition of being without their kids. And I like to give them hope that eventually they'll see their kids on a regular basis. And today I'm creating this video to share my process of planning trips, which is the way I use quality time as a co-parent. What I realize is in most custody arrangements after divorce or separation, mothers are usually awarded full custody. And generally, they spend more time with the kids, and that makes sense, right? They spend more time with the kids, caring for them, so it's usually awarded to them. I use the term generally because recently the media is highlighting more of a father's presence in their children's lives. Yet, 1 of 4 children are being raised in fatherless homes, according to the 2022 census in the United States. Given these alarming statistics and my experience working with non-custodial fathers, I felt inspired to share my process of planning trips with my children, with the hopes you can implement these same practices in your co-parenting journey. What is the benefit for even planning trips for your kids, right? Well, one benefit is that your partner gets a break from her parenting responsibilities. 2, you can invite your partner as a gesture to strengthen your co-parenting relationship with them. And 3, your children may need time to adjust to the transition of divorce and separation. So when you're co-parenting, short trips can help them be more comfortable with the idea of spending time separately from the other parent. When getting newly divorced, it does take time to create a home environment for your children. So day or weekend trips can be an affordable solution to still stay involved in your kids' lives while going through the separation or divorce process. First, finding places to go, right? How do you find places to go and take your kids? For me, the easiest place to start was using social media, specifically Instagram. I created a new account for the purpose of posting my co-parenting journey, and I started to follow accounts that shared content related to fun places to take your kids within the New York area. After I followed these accounts, I then started to receive ads and posts related to fun places I can take them throughout the tri-state area. Most ads have links to purchase tickets at a discount, so I always make sure to bookmark those posts and later review them when I'm making plans for trips for my kids. The next step is making sure your kids are actually available for those dates. So I generally plan trips on the last weekend of the month, and I reach out to the mothers first to make sure they don't have set plans those days. This works best for younger children. For older kids, I usually suggest reaching out to them first to find out if they're even interested in the plans that you have. Once I confirm they don't have any plans that particular day with their mom, I usually reach out to her to make sure it's okay. And I also invite them as well so that they don't feel excluded. Even if you know they'll decline, still offer because it shows maturity and that you still want what is best for your kids, which ideally is them still feeling like a family. When I planned my road trip to drive down south, I rented a truck and left midday Thursday and returned home on Monday. In that trip, I was able to go to 2 amusement parks, and I ended my trip at Myrtle Beach. So don't be afraid to make experiences like road trips for your kids and plan accordingly with their school schedule. Also, cruises can also be fun, leaving from Miami or Fort Lauderdale. On most of the trips that I've done with Royal Caribbean or Carnival, I left on Saturday and I returned on Sundays. So when you think about it, whether you're doing a 1-day trip, a 4-day trip, or a 7-day trip, those are the ideal days I would recommend. And don't be afraid to use your personal days, right? Because you are entitled to spend time with your kids, and you're also entitled to get paid while doing so. Now, last and the most important part about planning trips is actually documenting it. And here are 3 investments I want to share with you that I use to capture the moments with my kids. The first one is a smartphone, right? Everyone usually has a smartphone they have access to one, right? Most smartphones keep dates and locations when you take pictures or videos. And when you use your smartphone to capture moments, they usually save the media on a cloud space so that even if you replace your phone or if you lose your phone, you still have access to those memories of your trip. The next thing I also use is the phone gimbal. The gimbal that I use is the Osmo 5. This actually has a built-in selfie extension feature, and it also has a tracking feature that allows me to take photos and videos while using gestures. And the last but not least is a travel tripod. Now, the reason I bring a travel tripod is because I like to capture moments as groups, and oftentimes we forget to include ourselves in the memories. So when you have a tripod, it allows you to capture the moments with your kids, and those are moments they can keep with them of the times they spend with you as a father. Now, the bonus investment that I made, and I think every father should make, is a DSLR camera, right? And the camera I used that you saw in the video was the R8. You could also get the R7, and I paired that with a Sigma 17 to 55 millimeter lens, right? Now, it's important that you invest in certain things, and for me, making videos of my kids allows me to share these moments with them and look at them during times when I'm having challenges and I miss them, right? Because oftentimes fathers, we may forget of the impact that we make on our children. And when you make efforts to actually plan trips and you capture those little moments, you know, it not only helps your kids, but it reminds you that you're doing such a good job, you know? And there's always moments when there's uncertainty, there's self-doubt. Some fathers battle with depression, right? And just dads, they just need to know that you are involved and you are doing a good job to stay in their kids' life. This is why I created this platform, because I think fathers who are in their kids' lives are dope, and their kids see them as heroes, whether you believe it or not. Because looking back at all the trips I planned, the smiles, the excitement that my kids had, I think it was worth it. And if you and your ex-partner aren't really seeing eye to eye, maybe a video like this you can share could encourage you guys to do more trips together, despite not being romantically involved. Usually there's some conflict, there's some past history and some things that aren't resolved. So maybe you can squash it for the sake of your kids, okay? And remember, you know, you have the right to be in your kids' lives. It's whether you exercise that right that makes the difference. All right, so thank you for your time and your attention. If you like this, please like it, subscribe. If you found value in this video, And if you want information on, like I said, the sites that I use, links to the gear that I purchased, and just all the resources that I use as a father, you can hit the link in the description. It'll take you to my newsletter, and I'll share all those resources. All right, it's about helping one another together. So peace and enjoy your journey. But